Okay, so I'm going to try to do my best here, draw the diagrams. Let's see, best way to describe it to you. So here's the head. So we're drawing top view. Head and shoulders. Can you see that okay? Head and shoulders. And so you can see, so here's the head, here's the shoulders, and there's the nose. That's the top view. Top view. And just to review, we've done different planes of movement in regard to our yin-yang pattern. So we've done parallel to the to the chest, parallel to the torso. We've also done parallel. We've done perpendicular. Well, I'll just keep them. We've done our yin-yang symbol perpendicular to the chest, you can recall. We've also done parallel to the ground. Parallel to the ground. That means now we can start to, now we'll view, because of that dimension, we can view the circle. Yeah. And then the pattern actually emerges. We can see it from this top view when we're saying we're drawing the pattern parallel to the ground. Yeah. You might want to turn on the light a little bit. Okay. Now we are introducing a plane that's a little bit more challenging, hard to draw, and that's this diagonal plane, right? We did that last week, that diagonal plane. That's one side, right? Well, I'll draw both, and that's the other side. Yeah. And then we also talked about how the function of this in terms of utilizing, let me turn on another light here. And the function of this plane can be seen when we do martial Qigong in Tai Chi, especially with weapons. Feel better. When we do weapons, we see that because when we have a incoming force, we can then redirect energy to the side. Yeah. And so our hands follow these paths, you know, these lines. Yeah. We also talked about how that lines up with the legs and the knees. So if we're doing a mountain climbing stance, so let's see how I can draw that. I don't know how I can draw that. We got 1 foot forward and then 1 foot back. It's kind of like that. let's see, but the side view of the mountain climbing stance. So the side view of the mountain climbing stance, right? However, the top view is a little awkward to see. And so in this case, the slightly shifts the shoulders, right? We'll slightly shift the shoulders. So got my head there. Now the shoulders shift that way. And that way. Oh, geez. Drawings. Gosh, I don't know if you can see that. That's the top view. Side view, top view. Right? And what is that? That's the right foot forward. Right foot forward. So in that case, the right foot forward, using the right hand, ideally we use the right hand in that case to deflect incoming energy, deflecting it to the left. And so we use this hand, and you can see that that line and how that opens up. Margaret's entering. So, and then it would be opposite, right? If we were doing the left hand, it would be opposite direction. And I think you guys were able to see the connection. If you, in this case, if this person looks down, they're looking at their right leg, and look at their right knees, right knee to left knee relationship, that angle sort of opens up. So ideally when incoming force is, coming in, you make a decision as best you can as to what direction you'll deflect, right? What direction you'll deflect. So Margaret, you're just entering, this is the side view mountain climbing stance. And this is the top view of the mountain climbing stance, and the patterns. So the circling patterns, when you're redirecting and deflecting, this, gosh, I should just look at it and draw it. So yeah, you can see how drawing the pattern in that circle there, drawing the pattern there, you cover the most of the torso and even the head, right? And now you can see it from the side. From the top view, it makes this angle, right? So I hope you're able to follow that, right? And that's because incoming force, wanting to direct it to the side, using a circular energy to complete that. That's the top view. Again, this is the side view, incoming force this way, and redirecting it to the side. Now here you can only see that one dimension from the side view of the body, and in which case here, you want it to go not through the body, you want it to go to the side of the body. And so that way from this top view, now you can see when you use redirection, deflection goes to the side. So we're going to see how that looks when we start to now utilize the yin yang pattern, yin circles, yang circles. So remember, if we're going this way, it's going to be yang circle. Going this way, yin circle. And then remember, from there we can start to transition, change. You can see the figure 8 emerges, and always have the opportunity to change and utilize the yin yang pattern. So let's do that. We're going to focus on this plane here, because we talked about how we've done the yin yang, the circles parallel to the chest, perpendicular to the chest, and now it's going to be off angle here and off angle here. Okay, so let's try that. And we're going to start in a mountain climbing stance. Because of that, we're going to be needing to use the rocking energy. Let my dog in. So to bring those pictures to life now, our mountain climbing stance from the side looks like this. That's my right leg forward. Other side, left leg forward, right? And for now, I'll give you the front view. Okay. So what we're going to do is same leg, same hand. Same leg, same hand. So if you're mirroring me, maybe you have your left leg forward. You can start with the right hand, right side dominant, and that's fine. Let's review the circles, right? So look down at your stance first. Look down at your stance and notice how because you have one leg forward, you have one knee forward, one knee to the back, and notice how that makes an angle. That angle represents your angle of deflection, and also the plane that in which the either the yang circle or the yin circle will follow. If you use, so you have to use a front leg as a reference, same leg, same hand, and so that's why it's easy to follow the plane of the legs. If you use the opposite, so in this case, if you have your left leg forward, if you use the right hand, you can still draw yang circles, yin circles. It just your balance becomes compromised. We call that cross body, right? So we'll make it easy, make it simple. Let's take a second and just draw those circles. We're going to use the index finger. Yang circle, understanding just where yang circle is, right? And yin circle. Yeah. So yang circle goes out. Of course, they both go out. They both have yin and yang aspects to them. And yin circle will be coming in. So on the rocking forward is the yang motion, yang circle will emerge. And the rocking backward, like pulling back, coming back to center, that represents the yin energy. Yeah. So if I show you from the side, okay, go lay down. Go lay down. Come on, go lay down. So from the side, yang energy, right? And yin energy, right? And again, just to note the difference in plane of movement for these circles. Again, here's our top view. So with the right leg forward, left leg back, and right hand forward, you can draw the perpendicular plane, no problem. You could draw the actually, maybe I should do that. You can draw the perpendicular plane, no problem, right? But what we're focusing on now is this slight angle, that plane. That's the plane that we're looking at. Yeah. And the important thing here is your center in terms of frame of reference, your center line, right? Notice how the plane crosses the arm and the hand, the index finger should cross the center line. That's so that you you need to meet that requirement in order to redirect force that's coming in. The hand has to cross the center line, because right here at this junction, there's an intersect between opponent's hand or opponent weapon and your hand, right? Because this red line here, remember, represents your hand, your index finger, and then incoming force, that's the intersection right there, most likely. It could be out here, though, could be closer, but that's where that happens, and then the force gets redirected. So that means there's a slight angle to our circle, perpendicular plane, right? But now there's a little bit of an angle, and that's going to be manifested by the waist. So simply turning the waist to the side and then recentering the torso. So turning the torso and then recentering the torso, along with rocking. That's what's really going to give us our movement, right? So if I show you from the side, because remember, utilizing internal ball to move the external ball meaning the dantian, to move the external ball, which is here in the hands. This has to move first. So you can see the circles starting to be drawn. And then once I start to turn my waist, recenter, turn my waist and recenter, you can see how now the hand can easily follow that movement. Yep. Right, you got it. Now what that helps us do is also integrate the full body connection. So when we talk about redirecting force, a lot of times we use the yin energy, because that yin energy matches the opponent's yang energy. So that yin, like coming in, guiding in. So like right here is where that intercept will happen. Once that intercept occurs, now opponent's energy can be redirected to the side, other side there, and to your right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Dennis got it. Yep, Margaret, good. Yeah. Yeah. Now, and that's not to say that it can't go to the other side, but keeping it simple here with the hand that's forward, right? We're just keeping it simple. Yeah. So if we match the breath, inhaling as we come in and exhaling to start the circle again, back out, in, out. This is a great exercise to start to acclimate yourself to the notion of redirecting. And this could be anything. This could be anything. This could even be a verbal perceived attack that someone may be coming at you with. A perceived attack in the verbal realm. Well, you're taking it in and you're guiding it that way, right past you, right? Because we're talking about principle and we're talking about energy. That's what we're talking about. This is also used in bare hand defense, self-defense patterns. It's also used in short weapon and long weapon pattern, but the principle always stays the same. And so if it was a self-defense situation, eventually you would need to then manifest your own energy. And then that would be represented by the yang circle, right? Because now you're going to be giving and manifesting your own energy. Yeah. So that's how yin and yang exchange within the body to take in energy, redirect energy, but then also to distribute, manifest one's own force and energy. Okay. Again, also within the yin yang exchange of persons, one's own yang energy that they are emitting is balanced by your yin energy. If you were to meet yang energy with yang energy, there's a clash. And that clash presents conditions most likely for which things might break. And so being that Tai Chi is soft, it's a soft style. It wants to use the principles that are most efficient and most sustainable for one's own energy and the use of incoming energy. In this case, the yin energy balances the yang energy, and our own personal energy is only used to redirect incoming energy. I'm going to change to the other side. You guys feel free to switch legs as needed. And let's just go through the yang patterns and yin patterns respectively. Remember, it helps to look down at your knees, and the knees and the angle that's presented when you look down, then it presents the angle of which your finger will be drawn when you're doing the circles. And notice how conveniently you are able to cross your center line. And if your hand crosses your center line, then you then would be able to intercept and redirect incoming force. And then give yourself an opportunity to practice the yang circle. Yep, nice change there. So good change, Margaret. And remember, the hand and the finger are not necessarily the most important part. Those are the branches and the flowers. The most important part are the roots. So the roots meaning the connection to the earth, and then also the trunk of the tree, which is going to be your waist. Knowing that the waist is guiding the movement that's coming from the feet. Slight rotation of the torso. That gives you your horizontal movement for the circles. And then try to coordinate your breath respectively, where when you're coming in, rocking in, inhaling, and then anytime you're rocking out, you're exhaling. And then if we revisit our Qigong principles, always trying to promote relaxation, softness, smoothness, and consistency. So let's close this off. Remember how we return to Wu Ji, right? In this case, we're going to spiral and incrementally make the circle smaller and smaller, and eventually return the energy back to the Dantian. And feel the movement becoming more restricted within the body sense. Until finally the mental energetic center aligns with the physical center and you're still there. And then now use a little bit of a coil and use a little bit of a spiral of the Dantian to bring the front leg to the rear leg. So rotate your waist just a little bit. Use that energy as you post on your rear leg to slide the front leg in and bring the feet together. Now squaring up, right? So even that energy of pulling in, circling in, spiraling in, that's also not only going to bring the hand in, but it's also going to bring the legs, front leg in as well. So that incoming recentering energy. Okay. So we're going to do this now. We're going to switch legs, switch stances, and we're going to slowly spiral out from the root, from the Dantian, eventually into the torso, spine, spinal articulation, shoulder, elbow, finally to the finger. And then also when we get to the end or the maximum range of motion, right? So that's as far as I can reach. Then what we're going to do in order to get more distance, we're going to step forward. Okay. Starting from Wu Ji, starting from center. So slowly feeling that movement coming from, first you visualize it. You visualize your spirals, visualize the large circle, and even visualize your stance, and try to get a sense of your own maximum range even after you've stepped, right? You haven't manifested it yet, but you can visualize it and you know where you're going. Now start to initiate the movement from the Dantian with slow, small spirals. Engaging the abdomen, engaging the tailbone, engaging the lower back. Might feel some movement going down into the feet as well, because you have soft hips, soft knees. Don't forget to breathe and actually try to coordinate the breathing with the spiraling. Now the movement's coming into the middle to upper back. So you should feel soft spine. Allow your knees to soften as well and allow the legs to become involved. Now let the movements come into the upper back, shoulder girdle, scapula, shoulders. And we're going to need to isolate one hand as the movement begins to go into the arms. So we're going to need to, in my case, I'm going to step with my left leg. Then that means I'm going to isolate my left arm in order to draw the circles. And so I also need to, because of that, become aware of which way my torso needs to turn. So if I'm visualizing my stance, in this case, my left foot forward, then I can see the angle present itself. And then I can start to see the plane of which I'll draw those circles. So as the movement becomes bigger and bigger, now start to add a waist rotation. Simple waist rotation. And that's going to be timed with your, in this case, let's say your yin descending energy, you're going to rotate. If you have your left leg forward, or you're going to step with your left leg forward like me, you're going to be then rotating to the right. I'll get closer here and you'll be able to see. So I'm drawing spinal waves, full body movement, simple rotation, and recentering. Again, rotation and recentering. Rotation and recentering. Now I'm going to let my left hand go. And I'm just going to let my shoulder and elbow follow those movements. Shoulder and elbow follow those movements. No circles being drawn yet, but I'm just letting that energy flow into shoulder and elbow. And in this case, at this point, I'm drawing yang circles. Movements are becoming larger and larger. Now the energy is going into the wrist. Into the wrist. Now we're spiraling larger and larger. Now we're starting to touch that edge of our maximum arm span. Go in and let the movement now go into the index finger. Before you step, just kind of make sure you've got that appropriate angle. You also want to make sure at this point as well that you're crossing center, your center line. So for example, let's say I'm facing forward here, might help orienting. Notice how my circle at this point crosses center line. Rotation, and then rotation recentering allows me to cross my center line. So now I'm going to step forward. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to bring left leg to center on a yin side of the circle. And then with the yang side of the circle, leg and hand go out at the same time. Rotation to the side, rotation to recenter. Now you're utilizing rocking energy. Movement is full body from the feet into the legs, directed by the waist, manifested into spine, shoulder, elbow, wrist, finger. See if you can draw transition, an S transition. And change direction. Try to get a sense of where your maximum range of motion is and where yin and yang have fully manifested themselves. If you're able, draw the transitions, figure 8. See if you can change at will from yin to yang. Incorporating the side movement, the waist rotation, along with the rocking. And just trying to solidify those harmoniously. And we're going to use yin circles to then return to center from our maximum range of motion. We're gonna start to spiral back in. So I'll give you the side view. I'm just gonna slowly make my way back to center. Try to envision, in this case now, mental center, physical center, energetic center, all coming back to the root. Just slowly and incrementally. And you can find your center with one leg forward. Eventually, you want to get to both legs together. So at some point then, the hand comes in, the hand is at rest. So at this point, I'm going to put both my hands on my dantian, and then I'm going to use same coiling energy, same spiraling energy to return that front leg, feet together, and now mental, energetic, and physical have recentered. Representing Wu Ji. So taking a second just to embody that stillness. Taking a few breath cycles. Feeling the contrast in the nervous system of stillness and movement. Okay, now for the last segment, we're going to do something similar yet different. Okay. So our top view, right? Top view, you see the nose. Those are the shoulders. And we're going to draw the same plane with the hands. This time we're going to keep the feet together and we're going to utilize both hands. So in this case, this hand will be drawing this track. And in this case, this hand is going to be drawing this track. Okay, and in this case, we'll be able to use both hands simultaneously and not isolate just one. And then we're also going to get a sense of, from the center, as a center line, the rotation of the shoulders. And in this view, the shoulders are also represent the waist. So in which case, trying not to block my place of shadow, but shoulders rotating this way, also representing the hip rotation this way, in order to manifest the energy coming out and out, all for the purpose of protecting center line. Okay, so let's give that a shot. Okay, so how that looks if I'm mirroring you. Okay, so my right hand, if you want to mirror me, your left hand, right? And if we reference that top view diagram that I just drew, right? Then we notice that respectively, the opposite side is going to need to go back in order for the hand that's lifted to rotate, right? So you notice that relationship, how this side pulling back, in a sense, it allows for the other hand to draw forward and then complete that circle. Yeah. And this is going to be for yin circle. Yin circle. And with the other hand, same relationship. My left, your right. So then the opposite side will need to pull back, lift the hand, and draw the circle. Yeah. So now you notice the relationship between waist and hand, in a sense, waist and hand. So in this case, lifting my right, I pull my left back to help me draw that yin circle. And it's going to be opposite for you. So sorry. So lifting your left, right? Pulling the right side back, right? And then let that circle complete. Now switching hands. So raising your right and pulling your left back. Let that circle complete. Yep, that way. That's right, Margaret. Now again, so when we lift the hand, we're lifting it straight up. Yeah, yeah. And then when we pull the respective side, opposite side back, that's going to allow us to draw that circle. So let's say you're lifting the left arm, pulling the right hip back. Yep, that's it. Let that circle complete. Falls to the side. Switching sides now. Lifting the right and pulling the left hip back. Yeah, let that circle complete. Now just let it flow. Switching hands. Switching hands. Yeah, there's a little bit of confusion, So the hand is lifting. The hand is lifting straight up, and then because of the rotation, in this case, the rotation here, that's going to now draw the circle that way, right? So that's the right. Left arm, lift the left arm straight up, left hand straight up, but then pull the right rotation so that now this circle gets drawn. Yeah. I don't know if the rear view is going to help, but so I lift my right and turn to my left. I draw that circle and bring the hands back to the side. I lift my left, rotate to my right, and draw that circle. Lift my right, rotate to my left, draw that circle. Yeah. Hands return. Lift my left, rotate to the right, draw that circle. Hands return. Okay, let me give you the side view. So I lift my right, rotate to my left, draw the circle. Hands return. Lift my left, and turn to my right, draw that circle. Right. Lift my right, rotate to the left, draw that circle. And lift my left, rotate to my right, draw that circle. See if you can alternate now. So notice that we build the metronome in a sense with the rotation from left to right. Then the arms can start to flow respectively. Now, if we look at it from the side, right? So this is the mountain climbing stance, but now we're facing feet together. And so we're still drawing these same circles as we lift the hand. As we lift the hands, we're drawing the yin circle, and then return the hands back to the side, lifting the hand and returning it back to the side, lifting the hand, turning back to the side, lifting the hand, turning back to the side. So we're making sure, and actually in this case, we're actually letting the hands, can you see, follow the face or intercept at the face angle. So the hands are dropped, we lift the hand, draw that circle, bring the hand back to the side, lift the hand down back at the side, lift the hand back at the side. So I think where you might be getting confused is each time you lift the hand, you essentially lift it straight up, right? Lift it straight up. But then you'll notice that you're still wanting to draw a circle, but this plane for the left hand is where the circle will be drawn, right? For the right hand, now this plane is where the circle will be drawn. If I lift the right hand. Yeah. And we're being a little strict, we're being a little rigid with that. But really, if you just want to just draw circles with the hands, also you can do that as well. The only reason that this is restricted is because if I need to intercept incoming force, I need to make sure I cross my center line and I have a circle that is initiated in order to meet incoming force to direct it to the side. And so I think you might be wanting to intuitively move your hands yang, which is fine as well. So what we've been doing for this particular segment is yin. Let's see if you can do yang just with the rotation of the waist. See if you can do the yang circle. Might become a little easier. And when we just talk about letting the arms move with the body for Qigong purposes, it really doesn't matter. but you kind of want to get an idea of the plane of movement that you're moving so that you can shift and draw an S transition easily. Important thing here is to notice that the rotation is the root of the movement. So let the rotation initiate and then also finish rotation of the hand and finger. And if you ever get confused, you just know that bringing the hands to the side is a good place to start because you always, or end, because you always end up there anyways. And that's essentially your yin point where the movement grows from. Now we're just moving freely. And then now stretch the movement to your maximum arm span. Let the arms stretch out. And then with the rotation of the waist, allow the hands and arms to stretch out to their maximum. Sometimes you might be drawing the same circle pattern. So you might be drawing like both hands are doing yin circles, which is fine. You can do both hands doing yang circles, which is fine as well. Or you can have them alternating. Bring the spiral in the movement and make it smaller so that it's just restricted to, say, elbow. Right? So if you drop your arms to the side, now just restrict the circle so that it's restricted just between elbow and finger. Yeah, so that means that the lifting of the arm doesn't get involved. Now restrict the movement just to wrist. Keep the waist rotation, keep the weight, don't stop rotating the waist. Keep turning to the side, yeah. Now just restrict the movement to the wrist as much as you can. That's that's funny, huh? Now just finger. So if I get close, watch how my fingers are attached to my waist. I'm still also using a little bit of wrist. Yeah, the important thing is connecting the internal rotation to the external finger and letting those, and I might just, it might just be best to say, let the fingers move intuitively with your waist movement. Now let's we're going to draw the circles from fingers to wrist, elbows, and shoulders. So now fingers and wrists. And just let the circles happen intuitively so that you stay relaxed and stay comfortable. Now from finger to wrist and elbow. Yeah, sometimes you don't really know what direction you're going, right? And that's okay. Really, what you want to solidify is the connection of the waist, the internal ball to the external ball, waist to finger, internal ball to external ball. Now go ahead and go from finger to wrist to elbow and then to shoulder. So now you can start to lift the arm. Don't forget to connect the waist to the arm. Now stretch the arms out as far as you can, drawing the largest circles that you can. Now restrict the shoulders. So only elbows, wrists, and fingers. Now restrict the elbows, only wrists and fingers. Only fingers. Now let the arm fully relax at the side. Let the arm fully relax at the side. Maintain your rotation of the waist and just see how that feels. So if you're just doing rotation of the waist, you can probably envision patterns and circles that you may be drawing with your arms. With the arms physically relaxed, those energies are not manifesting. And we restrict the movement now to the hips, recentering, bringing the movement, energy, mind back to center. Relaxing here at center. Just embodying that stillness and emptiness. Good. And we will end the session here today.